Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight, the official YouTube channel of serialatmidnight.com. My name is Heath, and I'm glad you're here because this is the illustrious 13th installment of the Thrift Store video series. I don't know if that's lucky, if it's unlucky, I'm not sure. And this is going to be a shorter one, which I'm kind of thankful for. I'm going to give you a peek behind the scenes. The last Thrift Store video was 31 minutes, I believe. The one before that was almost a half an hour. And they were just like about to crumble under their own weight. So I put it up to the Patreon community. I said, hey, patrons, Patreon peeps, would you rather have shorter thrift store videos more often or longer thrift store videos, but they'd be, sporadic? And it was almost unanimous, shorter, more often. So I have kind of a small haul. Actually, I have like a minute's worth of footage from inside this thrift store. So I'm going to cut to that little narration. We'll be quippy, we'll be clever, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the stuff that we actually picked up. So cut to the thrift store footage right now. Let's kick things off in the VHS section. Check out this old copy of Stripes. This looks straight out of a video store. It might very well be from a video store. Look, we got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Fievel Goes West, E.T. I mean, these are some classic videos. These are staples of the video store. And it looks like just a few over from that, we've got, what is this? We got Attack of the Clones. No, Anakin, no! And The Last Starfighter. I'm going to talk about a classic 80s movie. I have this on Blu-ray, but I was super tempted to pick this up. And Gundam is something, so I've seen all of Gundam Wing, but I haven't seen anything beyond Gundam Wing. This is probably not, like VHS is probably not the best way to do it. I used to have this VHS tape, now it's on one of the DVDs. And then here's another relic of the video store days with Blockbuster branding on this DVD. Bunch of junk here, nothing anybody really wants. But in the CDs, things change. You guys, I wanted this so bad. I actually Instagrammed this cover not that long ago. The Sesame Street parodies of classic rock songs are amazing, but this disc was very scratched. So I had to let it go. This disc was like super appealing to me too because I love Phineas and Ferb. It's got a bunch of the songs that were on the show. But unfortunately, look at this disc. It looks like someone used it as a dinner plate. There's like, was that a chunk of a brownie? What is that? So again, I had to pass. This is interesting to me. I don't know who Hello Goodbye is, but the title of this album caught my attention. Again, it wasn't in great shape, so I had to let it go. But this one had the right stuff. This one had me hanging tough. I'm out of New Kids references already. Step by Step, is that another New Kids reference? This album, Waking Up the Neighbors by Bryan Adams, I love so much. And of course, it's because it has Everything I Do It For You, the song from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Last but not least, here's a brief view at the books. We got some westerns. And then the Hardy Boys. You guys, I have a Hardy Boys story to tell you. So remind me later to tell you my Hardy Boys story. Thank you very much, Heath in the thrift store. Man on the field. That was some fantastic reporting. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you. You want to do movies first? You guys seem to love the movies. So let's do the movies first. But these are kind of out there, I'm going to tell you. So I got Outlaw Justice. This is an out-of-print Western, probably a TV Western. I'm not 100% sure what the origins of this thing are, but, okay, it's got Waylon Jennings in it, okay? Lonesome Audrey in Maine. That's kind of an obscure Waylon. It's not obscure, but how about Just a Good Old Boys? Nah, that's better. Straight in the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get him, but the law never will. Travis Tritt. Here's a quarter. Call someone who cares. Willie Nelson. Love Willie Nelson. Man's a living legend. Hopefully he's still alive. Like, I don't want to jinx anything. I gotta knock on something. Oh, let's punch Boba Fett in the face. Gotta knock on wood right here. Okay. And most importantly, Chris Christopherson. If you've been watching this channel, you know I love Chris Christopherson. I'm super excited to watch this. I love myself some westerns. And this one has 3 country music legends and Travis Tritt. You guys, like, I love outlaw country, especially from the 70s. I don't listen to modern country, but 70s country. Give me some Waylon. Give me some Willie. Give me some Johnny Cash. I'm all about it. Love my 70s country. Okay, this is the only other DVD. This is The Man from Laramie. There's hair on it. This is The Man from Laramie by Jimmy Stewart. It's still sealed in the package. It's not even opened. It's got a Borders price tag on it for $12.99, but they never opened it. What do you want? You want the moan, Mary? Well, I'll lasso it. Have you guys ever seen the Johnny Carson clip of Jimmy Stewart reading a poem about his dead dog? He was a poet, and he would go on Johnny Carson and he would read some of his poems. He would go on all these variety shows. Dean Martin show, take a drink, Dean Martin. I talked about Dean Martin. But he would go on the late night talk show circuit, and he wrote poems. So there's a Johnny Carson clip, I'm sure it's on YouTube, where he talks about his past dog, his deceased dog. And I was like, tear-jerking. It's so sad. And by the time he's finished, like, he's in tears, Johnny Carson is in tears, the audience, you just hear like, so it's worth tracking down if you haven't seen it. Hey, a minute ago we were talking about outlaw country and some of the country legends. Check this out. Snagged this for, I think it was $2.99. I don't like it. They put the price tag inside here, but I think it's going to come off very easily. This is Johnny Cash's The Johnny Cash Show album. These are selections that were culled from his, was it late 60s, early 70s? It was kind of a variety show for him too. I don't think he did a lot of, what would we call it? It was just a TV show, and he would sing and he would do stuff, and he would have people on there from different musical styles. He had the Monkees on the Johnny Cash Show. But this is the original pressing. It's in great shape. It looks hardly listened to. And the big catch on this one is it's got Sunday Morning Coming Down, which is a great Johnny Cash song about waking up on a Sunday with a hangover, written by Chris Christopherson. Symmetry patterns. So I have this on CD. I actually have the entire Columbia Johnny Cash box set. I think I don't remember how many discs it is off the top of my head, but there's a video about it. I did do a video. I'll put the links in the description. Links in the description, pal. But I did an entire, I wouldn't call it a review. It's just kind of an unboxing, walkthrough, an exploration of the entire Johnny Cash, basically Columbia catalog. It's like 50 discs, or maybe it's even more than that. I can't remember. So I do have the CD, and I do listen to it, but hey, vinyl's better, right? Vinyl is always better. Since we're rolling with music, let's go ahead and switch to this. Got a few CDs. This is, what is this called? The New Basement Tapes. So Bob Dylan has there's a bootleg series. He has an album called The Basement Tapes, and then there's like a Basement Tapes bootleg series where it's all the stuff that he did with the group that would eventually become the band that they recorded in the Big Pink, the house in upstate New York. This is, so I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I did a Bob Dylan, no, I haven't done it. I thought I was going to say I did a Bob Dylan box set tour as well. Haven't done that video yet. So I can reference you to the future when I have done that video. But I have the Bob Dylan box set as well, his entire career up to like 2015 or something like that, 2013 maybe. Anyway, this is Bob Dylan songs recorded by other people, and it was kind of put out, it was put out at the exact same time as the Basement Tapes bootleg series, the 6-disc, the thing I was just talking about. But this is Bob Dylan songs recorded by other people. And I can't remember exactly who all is in here, so I'm going to open this up and we're going to explore the artists that are featured on here. All right, so we've got Elvis Costello, Jim James, Johnny Depp on electric guitar, Marcus Mumford of Mumford and Sons. Yeah, I feel like that covers it pretty well. That gives you an idea of who's on here. So I would call this music Americana. I'm sure everyone on here, in fact, I know everyone on here is not American. Elvis Costello is not American, but that style of music is very roots, American roots music. It's Bob Dylan songs. And Bob Dylan was one of the biggest purveyors of the modern mythology of American music. I could talk for a long time about Bob Dylan. He's one of my favorites. But I will save that for another video. I picked up Peter Gabriel's Greatest Hits. What is this called? Shaking the Tree. 16 Greatest Hits. Peter Gabriel. I've been meaning to buy this for a while. I was going to pay regular price for it, but this, $1 is better. This has Salisbury Hill on it, featured from every movie trailer. It's got Sledgehammer. It's got Red Rain, Shock the Monkey. So big time. Peter Gabriel. That was Southern. Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel's very cool. But it was a really cool find for $1. On that note, another legend. Paul McCartney's All the Best for $1. I have this in LP format. I have the vinyl, but now I got it digitally. For the kids who are watching this, you rip this to your computer and then you put it on whatever device you want to. And it's like Spotify that you own forever. My favorite Paul McCartney song, solo Paul McCartney song, is Another Day. And it is on here. It was one of his first singles after leaving the Beatles. It's also got Live and Let Die on it, Band on the Run, Jet, Ebony and Ivory. I won't list everything here, but Paul McCartney, a legend, like some of these guys, and like Johnny Cash. The last one is interesting. So this is Toby Mack. Toby Mack was one of the members of a Christian group called DC Talk. And you probably know who DC Talk is because they've sold like 60 million albums or something like that. I mean, it's like millions upon millions upon millions of albums. And it's interesting because I always felt like Toby Mack was, I don't want to say the weak link in that group because I don't think he was the weak link, but I thought that he was the one that had the least to offer outside of DC Talk. Like I feel like that group worked really well for what they did when they were founded. He was very much into the rap music and he brought the hip hop element to, which, you know, let's give credit. The dude brought hip hop to Christians, which was like, oh, you know, but he was responsible for like tearing down some of those walls and those barriers. And another full disclosure thing is I used to have this CD way back in the day. This is from 2004, so 15 years ago. I had this CD. And then I didn't think about Toby Mack for a good decade. Donated all this stuff or sold it or something. I don't even remember what I did with it. But here's the thing. About a month ago, it was around Christmas time, I heard a new song by Toby Mack called Elements. And he has a new album out. And you guys, it is amazing. It is seriously amazing. I'll probably write a review for it for serialatmidnight.com because I think that's probably the best place for us. You can go there and read it. It won't be long, but it is technically Christian music. But here's the thing. There's nothing preachy about it. There's nothing off-putting about it. It's actually really mature, talking about like the struggles of everyday life, the struggles with your family, trying to overcome. It reminds me of the movie Creed, and I'm sure Creed too. But here's the thing, I don't think that he's chasing Creed. I think that he's just about this. I think this is what we're all kind of collectively doing at the moment, is overcoming our own obstacles with a certain style. And it's really good. So if you're curious about that at all, go check out Elements by Toby Mack. It's one word, Tobymac. And just check it out, because go into it with kind of an open mind, and the production is outstanding. And that's the thing, like, he's a fantastic producer. So I picked this up for $1, and I'm gonna revisit it because I don't remember anything about it. The dude's actually coming to my town in like April. I might have to go see him. So these are, I said we were done with the movies. I kind of lied, because here's the thing, VHS tapes were 3 for $1. So what do you guys think that I picked up? I picked up E.T., I picked up The Last Starfighter, and I picked up Stripes. Mainly for nostalgia, because I do have all of these movies on Blu-ray. I think I have Stripes. I'm pretty sure I have Stripes on Blu-ray. If I don't, I need to get it. Stripes has this this tag. I don't know if this was from a video store or what. It looks like it's video store era. But yeah, mainly nostalgia on these, just like the relic of the past. This is these are the ruins of the Roman Empire. I picked up the Hardy Boys. I told you guys that I had a story to tell you about this. So when I was a kid, when I was in grade school, junior high school, I loved the Hardy Boys. And this was the series that really got me into them. This was the 80s. I'm going to guess this is 87. Let's see if it's got a year in it. Come on, guys. We're 1987. Holy crap! I loved this series. It was super special to me, because I felt like it was like look at check out the Alex P. Keaton sweaters that these guys are wearing. But the thing is, it felt like fresh and young. And then I got into the original Hardy Boys, when I was a kid. But here's the story. I had a fever. One day I had a fever. I'd come home from school and I was super sick and I had a fever. And my parents came in to check on me in my bedroom. And I remember none of this, but I was talking to them as if they were the Hardy Boys. I was like, "Come on in, boys. We got a mystery for you to solve. And what are you gonna do, Frank? And what?" And I was referencing them as if they were the Hardy Boys. And I don't know if they would remember that, but I remember, like, what a weird thing to do. So I have a soft spot for the Hardy Boys, and I have 0 of this series outside of this book. But now I have picked up Hardy Boys number 6. Numbers 1 through 543, here I come. I picked up Rick Springfield's autobiography, Late at Night. Rick Springfield, the singer for Jesse's Girl. But here's the thing, I've heard a lot of good things about this book because he was around the music scene in the 70s and in the 80s, and he's got a lot of stories. He rubbed shoulders with a lot of people. He did a lot of drugs. He did a lot of alcohol, and I think this is kind of him clearing the plate and telling everybody all about it. I believe that there's groupie stories in here, so I'm kind of interested. I love the history of entertainment, right? So this is very interesting to me. History of entertainment also plays into this. It's a book about Tallulah Bankhead, who I've talked about on the channel a little bit before. She was born about 2 hours from where I live now, and she was in Hitchcock's Lifeboat. Just a real firecracker of an actress. The story, I won't even talk. There's a story about Tallulah Bankhead on the set of I Love Lucy. Look it up. But this is kind of one of those things that you never expect to find in a thrift store. This is a very scholarly book about Tallulah Bankhead, who does not seem to be the subject of many books. So I'm excited to learn more about her and to just basically do my research. Yeah, that's important to me. Last thing, last item here is Jay Leno's he might have more than one, but this is a Jay Leno book about his life called Leading with My Chin. And here's the interesting thing. I was listening to a podcast while I was perusing the thrift store. It was Dax Shepard's podcast, which, if you're not listening to Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic podcast that goes to some crazy places. It's super honest. It's super internal, searching, looking at people's failures and trying to determine what we can learn from them. And I was listening to the episode that had Jay Leno on it. He just posted it up a few days ago, interviewing Jay Leno. And so I'm listening to Jay Leno, and there's Jay Leno's book. And I'm like, wow, history of the entertainment business, right? So I want to learn more about this because Jay Leno took over for Johnny Carson, and then he was one half of the Late Night Wars with David Letterman in the 90s. This is all super interesting to me. The late night talk show circuit, that Jimmy Stewart, holy crap, the symmetry in this video. The same late night talk show that Jimmy Stewart told his poem, read his poem about his deceased dog. Jay Leno took over that show. I didn't plan any of this. This just kind of worked out that way, but that's super cool. So I'm actually really excited to read this book now and learn more about his inside view of how he got to where he got and his style. So that's it. That's a shorter thrift store video, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out, tagging along. How's it going at thrift stores in your neck of the woods? Let me know. Solidarity, guys. I want to thank, again, the Patreon members for making this video possible, for giving me the feedback about the shorter episodes. Guys, I really do appreciate you so very much. Take care, and until next time, I will catch you later. Later.